Okay, so this is the November 2020 Foundation Paper 1. Okay, so remember to mark it with your different colour pens. And here we go. Right, so to start with, let's see if we can get the whole screen on there. Superb. So, write the following numbers in order of size. So, if we start with the smallest first. First number is a 3, that's a 3, that's a 3, that's a 3, that's 3 0. So it's 0.309. That's that one done. You can cross them out like that as well. Next one, because that's got a 2, that's got a 5. 0.32, 0.35, and 0.4. Okay, so number 2. Here's a list of numbers. From the list, write down multiples of 3. So they're in the 3 times table. So 5 isn't 11, 18 is the number in your 3 times table. Okay, go through these reasonably quickly. Correct to the nearest whole number. Well, 4.6, so we would round up to 5. Okay, make sure you're marking all of these. Scroll down a bit. Right, 3/4 as a decimal. Well, hopefully that's one you know. If not, hopefully you know that a half is 0.5 and a quarter is 0.25. So add them together, 0.75. Okay, write down the value of the 7 in the number. Well, it's in the hundreds. So just write 100. Or you could write 700. Or, yeah, probably just hundreds would be absolutely fine there. Number 6, we've got spinner. Looks like we're going on to a probability question. Geeta spins a fair 8-sided spinner. Okay, so we've got 8 sections there. On the probability scale, mark with a cross X the probability that the spinner will land on C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it's 4 out of 8, so actually it's a half. Okay, so we've got 4 out of 8, which simplifies to a half. On the probability scale, mark with a cross the probability that the spinner will land on a D. Well, there isn't a D, so write down the end there at 0. Can't get a D, and it goes up to C. Right, next one. The incomplete pictogram shows information about the number of eggs sold from a farm shop on Monday. So on Monday, the shop sold 18, so that's 18. On Tuesday, there's 24. And on Wednesday, 27. Use the information to complete the pictogram and the key. So we have, if we look at each one of these quarters, we've got 6 quarters and we've got 18. So if we do 18 divided by 6, we get 3. So each quarter is 3. So that will be 6 because it's half. This one has 4 quarters, so it's 12. So actually, let's do our key now. A complete circle with all 4 quarters is equal to 12. Is this 12 eggs? Yeah. Okay. And then for Tuesday, we've got to do 24, so which is basically 2 12s. So we need 2 circles. Try and draw them as best you can. It needs to be nice and easy for the person to mark. And then we need 27. Well, we'll need to get 27. We definitely need 24. But actually, we've established that a quarter of a circle is 3. 24 up to 7, so I need to draw a quarter of a circle. Yep. So that's a quarter of a circle, so that will be 27. Okay. Don't forget the key. It even tells you in the question to remember the key. Right, what do we got here now? Some coordinates. So this is question 8. Write down the coordinates of point A. Well, coordinates, what you need to do is remember that you have to go along first, then up. So it's 2, and then it goes up to 3. So 2, 3. Write down the coordinates of B. Well, B, we're not going across at all. So it's actually on the axes. So it will be 0. And -1, because we're going down 1 this time rather than up. Now, on the grid, mark with a cross X the point -2, 1. Label it C. So -2 means we go across to -2, but this time we go up 1. So -2, 1. and we've marked that on. Okay, so that's question 8. So far, so good. Right, number 9. A bag contains red counters and blue counters. The number of red counters to the number of blue counters is 3 to 4. Write down the fraction of the counters that are red. Well, red is the first one, and actually that's 3, and it's 3 and then 4 blue, so we've got 7 in total, so it's 3 out of 7, because I've added those two together. Now, write the ratio 12 to 30 in the form of 1 to n. So, to get it into the form of 1 to n, what I would do, we need to divide both sides by the same thing. So if we want 1 here, we're going to have to divide by 12. So we need to do 30 divided by 12. Well, yeah, you may not know your 12 times tables. Let's just quickly write it out. 12, 24, 36. Right, okay. So it's going to be 2. And then actually it's halfway between 30 is halfway between 24 and 36. So it's 1 to 2.5. So your actual answer is 1 to 2.5. So you could have written n equals 2.5 there. Actually, you don't need the 1. Right, number 10. If I'm going too quickly, obviously you can just pause this. Jenny has 12 marbles. A quarter of these marbles are large. The rest of these marbles are small. Okay, then we've got the weight of each. Work out the total rate. So what I would do, firstly, we need to work out a quarter of 12. So to get a quarter of 12, we do 12 divided by 4. So actually, 3 of the marbles are large. The rest of the 12 marbles are small. So we've got 9 small ones because we've got 12 in total. Now, each large marble has a weight of 70, and each small marble, so we need to do 3 times 70, and I would do 3 times 7 and then put the 0 on. 3 times 7 is 21, so it's 210. Then we need to do 9 times 50. Again, I would do 9 times 5, which is 45, and I'd put the 0 on. Okay, and then we just need to add them together because we want the total weight, 660. So, and it should be grams, but actually grams is already on the mark scheme there, or sorry, on the answer line. So 660, you can put your G in if you want, but you're not going to get a mark for it on this question. Okay, so actually, once we've worked out a quarter of 12, that's just like a multiplying question. Right, so question 11. Reflect the shape in the mirror line. Right, so basically count how many squares it is away. So we've got 2 squares there, 2 squares there. This one is 4. This one here is 3. And you can see the shape starting to, is that how it's going to look? Yep, so there's one there as well. So it's going to be kind of flipped over and the same distance away. So that's going to be our straight line. That's the shape reflected in the dotted line. Okay. Now, diagram shows a number machine. We've got an input, we're timesing by 2, we're taking away 3. So find the output when the input is 7. So basically we need to do 7 times 2. We're just basically working our way across. Take away 3. Well, 7 times 2 is 14. Take away the 3 gives you 11. Now, find the input when the output is 41. So now I'm going to work back the other way. I start with 41, but instead of take away 3, I have to do the opposite. Add 3. Now you're probably thinking, well, wouldn't I do BIDMAS? But you don't. You follow the order of the arrows. Okay, so we do need to add 3, which is 44. And instead of timesing by 2, opposite of timesing by 2, we divide by 2. So 44 divided by 2 is 22. Right, that's number 12. Right. Find the bearing of B from A, and this is where I really need a protractor. Hold on a moment. Okay, so a quick run up to the maths department. I now have a protractor. So we need to find the bearing of B from A. So we need that angle there. So what you need to do, obviously, set your protractor with 0 going up on the north line, and that I make it about 25 degrees. Now it does give you a little bit either way, so if you've got like 24 or 26, you'll be fine. So it's 0 to 5. Remember, it's got to be 3 digits. Okay, now the next bit, we look like we're going to need a ruler. Work out the real distance of AB and give your answer in kilometres. Okay, so work out the real distance between A and B. So if we measure it, which is going to be the first thing we need to do. Now, certainly on my screen, it works out at, and we need to be quite accurate here. I make it about 4.2, 4.1. Now, the chances are that actually it should be 4 centimeters, but it does depend on the screen and what have you you're looking at. So what you need to do is, once you've got this, you need to do your 25,000 times by 4, because that's our scale, 1 to 25,000. I'm just going to use 4 centimeters. I'm sure when you're actually on the actual paper, it would be that. So 25 times 4 is 100. Then put my 3 zeros on. Now, obviously, that is in centimeters at the moment because I've scaled up centimeters. So, and we need it in kilometers. So, first thing we need to do, if we put it into meters, so it will be 1,000 meters because I've divided by 100, and there are 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So 1 kilometer will be your answer for that one. Okay, so do your measurement and then times by 25,000. Okay, because of the scale. Right, next question. We've got 30 students at a college. So right, looks like we've got a two-way table going on here. We've got cricket, tennis and swimming. 30 in total. So let's work through it. 11 of the 20 female students said swimming. So we can put, I would just fill it in as we go. We've used that fact. 2 of the male students said tennis. So we use that fact. 5 students said cricket. Okay, the number of male students who said cricket was the same as the number of male students who said swimming. Right, so those two numbers are the same, but what we can actually start doing now, we know that's 10, because these got to add up to 30. If that's 2, these 2 here must be 8, so there must be 4 and 4. Just use that box, and now we can just fill it in. So that's 15, so those 2 add up. They're 20, so that must be 10, because they've got to add up to 30. That's got to be 8, because 2 and 8 is 10, and that must be 1. Okay, and you've completed the two-way table from the information you've got. All right, relatively straightforward two-way table. Number 15. Jamel makes a drink of mixing 1 part squash to 9 parts water. Okay, so I'm going to put it straight into a ratio so I can see it and I know what I'm doing. He uses 750 millilitres of orange squash. Jamel is going to put the drink he has mixed into 1 litre bottles. Work out the greatest number of 1 litre bottles. Right, okay, so we've got 1 to 9 and we've got 750 millilitres. So let's work in millilitres to start with. So that's 750 times bigger. So actually I need to do 9 times 750. Well, 9 times 750 is going to be, well, let's do a quick calculation down here. Times by 9. Well, 9 times nothing. 5 times 9 is 45. Carrying the 4. 9 times 7 is 63. 67. So it's going to be 6,750. Sorry. So let's add them together because that will be the total amount of juice. So we have total, bear in mind we're still in millilitres, is add those two added together. So I've got 750 plus the 750, adding them together to get the total amount of juice, which is 7.5. Okay, so we've got, yep, that makes sense, doesn't it? I could have just times this one by 10 actually. 7,500 I could, because these are 1 to 9, so it's 10 in total. So we've got a total of 7,500 millilitres. Work out the greatest number of 1 litre bottles that he can completely fill. Well, he can fill 7 because there's 1,000 millilitres in a litre. So actually, he can fill 7. He'd have 500 millilitres left, but that's not a full bottle. Okay, so it's 7. Okay. What have we got going on here? The table gives information about the number of points scored by each student of 16 students in a game. Tina worked out the median of the number of points scored to be 5. Explain why it's not possible for a median to be 5. Well, because the total is only 4. Number of points scored doesn't go up to 5. Oops, should have an E in there. So it doesn't go up to 5, it only goes up to 4. 4 is the highest, so you could put 4, the 4 is the highest. And that would probably be a quicker way of answering it. Okay, Tina also worked out the total number of points scored by the 16 students. Her working is 0 times 1, 1 times 3, 2, yep, I agree with all of that. Tina made a mistake in her working to find out the total number of points scored. Describe the mistake. Oh dear, I just said it was fine. Oh, there we go. Okay, 0 times 1 equals 0, not 1. Okay, and I think the rest is fine. 1 times 3, 2 times 5, 3 times 4, yeah, and then those add together to give 38. So that's the mistake. Okay, we all know that 0 times 1 is 0. Right, let's see what we've got now. In a shop, TV has a normal price of £500. The shop has a sale. On Monday, the normal price of TV is reduced by 10% to give the sale price. On Tuesday, the sale price of the TV is reduced by 20%. Chris wants to buy the TV. He has £400. Does Chris have enough money? Right, so let's get Monday's price firstly. So we need 1/10 of 500. Well, 1/10 of 500 is 50. So the actual price after the reduction would be 450 because I've taken my 10% off. Now Tuesday, we need to work out 20%. Now this is 20% of the new price, so 20% of 450. Okay, well 10% would be, so 10% of 450 is 45, so 20% will be double that, so 90. So we need to do 450, take away 90, which is 360. Okay, does Chris have enough money to buy the TV? Yes. And £40 left. Okay, so nice and clear, you can see what I've done. Monday's price, Tuesday's price, yes, he can afford it, £40 left. Really easy and clear for the examiner to mark for you. 5 marks. Right, work out an estimation. So round to one significant figure. 800 times 300 divided by 50. Rounded to 800, rounded to 300, rounded to 50. Now we should be able to do the calculation. 3 times 8. 3 times 8 is 24. Then I put my zeros back on. Divided by 50. Okay, how are we going to do that? Well, divide by 10 to start with. And now we just need to divide this by 5. So we could do a bit of a bus stop method. How many 5s go into this? Well, 5 doesn't go into 22. But if we look at 24, it goes in 4 times, remainder 4. So 5s into 24 is 4, remainder 4. 5s into 40 is 8, and then you've got your 2 zeros. So actually, an estimation for the answer is 4,800. Okay, so they're getting a bit more challenging as we get towards the end of the paper. Now, expand. That means multiply out the brackets. So I do x times x. Think of all those starters we've done. And x times the 4, don't forget the sign, so it's minus 4x. So x squared minus 4x. Now factorize means put in the brackets, so find a common factor. So the highest number that can go into 15 and 10 will be 5. And then in your bracket, what are we going to multiply by 5 to get this? So we'd multiply by 3y. 3 times 5 is 15. Sign stays the same, and we need a 2, because 5 times 2 gives you the 10. Right, so we need to solve this. So to solve it, I would start by expanding the bracket. So I've multiplied, just like we did here, multiplied everything in the bracket by the number at the front. Okay, now that's probably 1 mark. I'm now going to add my 35. Remember, you do your opposites. So 28, add 35, or the other way around, doesn't matter. It's 63. And then because we've got 7 lots of f, it's 63. F must be 9. 7 times 9, 63. Put it on the answer line. Okay, that was number 19. Let's keep going. The first 5 terms of an arithmetic sequence. Right, write down an expression in terms of n for the sequence. Right, so look at what it's going up in each time. Each time plus 3. It's just going up by the same amount each time, which is kind of the definition of arithmetic, which means something to do with the 3 times table. But if I had my 3 times table, I'd have 3, 6, 9, 12, etc. I need to take away 2 each time. Okay, now some people actually work back, get the minus 2 there, so they carry on the sequence down. Either way, it's 3n minus 2. Okay, right, fraction question 21. Show that, so they've given us the answer, which is quite handy. But to multiply fractions, you need to make them into mixed numbers. No, you don't. They're in mixed numbers. You need to make them top heavy, sorry. So 2 1/3 gives us 7/3, because we can convert the 2 whole numbers into thirds. And then we are going to do the same here. So 3 times 4 gives us 15 over 4. 3 times 4 add 3. Now, I'd be tempted to do some cancelling here. So I'll change that to a 1, and I'll change that to a 5. So I'm going to do my cancelling in before I do my calculation, but you could quite easily do 7 times 15 and 3 times 4 and then cancel. So I've got 4 on the bottom, on the denominator, and 7 times 5 is 35. Okay, we're not there yet though, are we? So 4 goes into 35 8 times, remainder 3. 32, 4 8s are 32, remainder 3. Okay, so I've clearly shown that I've used top-heavy fractions and I've done my multiplying. Okay, that would get you your 3 marks. Okay, a bit of graph recognition. Now, we've got 4 graphs and 4 equations. Now, let's see what we can do. Hopefully, you can remember this one here. This one x squared. Remember, smiley face. So that is graph D. Okay. Now, the one that's in 2 bits, okay, is the 1 over x graph. So that's A. Now, the other two are x cubed. So, hopefully we can recognise the shape of x cubed, but one is going up, one is going down. So the one that goes up is the x cubed, one that goes down is minus x cubed. Okay, so B, C, D, A. But hopefully we could all get this one with our x squared, recognising our x cubed graphs, and then the reciprocal one. Okay, so question 23. 2 of these triangles are congruent. Write down the letters of the 2 triangles. Well, congruent means they're identical. So let's actually have a look at what we've got here. So the missing side, well, what can we do? Let's fill in some angles. So we've got 10. Let's make that, I've got a feeling that's 455. So this one here, the 10, is between the 45 and the 55. Okay, the 10 here is between the 45 and 55. This one, okay, those 2 angles are going to be, they're not going to be 45 and 55, because otherwise it won't add up. And this one here, likewise, because 45 and 55 add up to 100. So actually this angle would have to be 80 for these 2 to be that, as with this one. So it's these 2. Okay, but when I first got to the question, I thought, well, what can we work out? We can work out the missing angles of these 2 triangles, and you can see the angles are all the same, but also we've got that same side being that length. So it's A and D. Then question 24. Right. Sean buys 24 chocolate bars excuse me, for £10. He sells 24 of the chocolate bars for 50p each. So we need percentage profit. So, right, we need to work out how much money he gets. So we need to do 24 times 50p, or 24 times 50p is £12. Because I've times it by £1 and then halved it. So actually, he's made £2 profit. £2 profit out of £10. Okay, so he has made 20% profit, because I can scale this up. So that's his profit over the original, gives us 20 over 100. We know 100 out percentage, so 20%. Right, okay, number 25. We're getting on to the real challenging questions now. So we've got ADC. AED is a straight line. ABC is a straight line. EB is parallel to DC. EB, right, okay, we've got all that. Work out the size of angle EAB. EAB. So we're after that angle there. Right, so let's actually write it down. So we've got angle EAEB is equal to, because you've got to give a reason for each stage of your work. So, because we've got these parallel lines, that angle there is actually 63 degrees, because they're corresponding. And you've got to use these words. Corresponding. Now, can we work out? Yeah, we can work out that angle. So notice how I'm setting it out. So ABE is basically 180 minus 148, which is 32. Okay, angles at a point on a straight line. Angles on a straight line equals 180 degrees. Okay, reasons there. So I've got a 63 there. I've got a 32 there. So actual angle EAB is equal to 180, take away 63 plus 32, which is 95, which means our angle is actually 85 degrees. And then it's because angles in a triangle equals 180 degrees. So that's our answer. Underline it, all the reasons, really clear, and that's going to get us our 5 marks. Okay, but notice how I've set it out. Easy to follow, easy to see. They're going to be looking for corresponding angles on a straight line, angles in a triangle. They're the kind of keywords they're looking for. Right, looks like we're going for a stem and leaf diagram. Table shows the information about the heights of centimetres, a group of Year 9 girls. Lowest, highest, medium. Okay, the stem and leaf boys shows. The stem and leaf diagram shows information of 15 Year 9 boys. We've got the scale, the key there. Compare the distributions. Okay, well let's work out the median of the boys. Okay, median of the boys is going to be this 15, so we want the 8th value, halfway between. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 6, 8. You can cross them off and work your way in, but the median is 168. Now the range for the boys, so the range, remember, is the highest take away the lowest. So we've got 182 minus 158. So that is 23. No, it's not. It's 24. Sorry. Okay, so the range is 24. And let's do the range for the girls. So basically with these comparison questions, you need one comment about the average, one comment about the range. So the range for the girls is 170, take away 150, is 20. So now we can put the boys' average is higher, therefore boys would be generally taller. And actually the boys' heights are more spread out. And we know they're more spread out because the range is bigger. Okay, so we've got the boys' heights are more spread out. So therefore we've got our calculations, and that would get us to the 3 marks. Oh no, I thought that was the end. Wishful thinking. Right, diagram shows a prism placed on a horizontal floor. The prism has a height of 3 meters. The volume of the prism is 18 meters cubed. The pressure on the floor due to the prism is 75 newtons meters squared. Work out the force exerted by the prism on the floor. Right, okay, so we're going to use this here. We've got pressure is equal to force over area. Right, okay, so actually we haven't got the area. That's the problem. So area of base, so to get the area of the base, what we need to do is we need to do 18 divided by 3, because the whole volume is 18, and if we divide by 3, it just gives us the area of the base. So that's 6 meters squared. So we're in the right units now. 6 meters squared. So we know the pressure is 75. So we've got 75 is equal to the force, which we're trying to work out, over the area. So actually the force is equal to 75 times 6. Again, I'm just going to do a little bit of long multiplication, or not even long multiplication. 75 times 6. Bear in mind we shouldn't be using our calculator. So 5 times 6 is 30. 6 times 7, 42. It's 450. So actually it's 450 newtons. Okay, so I've used what they've given us. I've worked out the area by doing that division, and then put the numbers into the formula, rearranged it. This is divide at the moment, so I need to multiply. 75 times 6 is indeed 450. Okay, write these numbers in order of size. Right, okay, so what I would do is actually I'd put this one in standard form to make it easier. Okay, it's funny, the paper started with putting numbers in. Okay, and I'm actually going to put this one in, so that's been, we need 6.72 times 10 to the minus 3, because it's, do I go minus 3? Yeah, I think so. Yes, because it's gone one too far. And this one here would be 6.72 times 10 to the 6. Right, okay, then that makes it a lot more straightforward. So it's 0, because now I can just look at the powers and I can put them in order. So 0.000672. Then this one, 6.72 times 10 to the, 10 to the minus 3. Then this one, 6.72 times 10 to the 5, and then this one, 6.72 times 10 to the 6. Okay, and that's because obviously the powers are getting bigger. I suppose I should write that one. Sorry, let's get rid of that, because actually I'm trying to put them all in the format that they've used rather than 6.7. So this is 672 times 10 to the 4. So I've just put them in the format they've used. I've used standard form to stick them in order. Right, it's got to be the last question. Oh no. Right, okay. So given that, find A to B to C. Right, so we've got A to B is 2 to 5, B to C is 3 to 4. So we want to find A to B to C. So we know that we would have A to B is 2 to 5, B to C is 3 to 4. Scaling them up, we want 15 here. 15 because 3 times 5, we want that number to be the same. So I've times that by 3, got to times that one by 3, times that one by 5, got to times that one by 5, and now I can do A to B to C because we've got that middle number of 15, so I've got 6, 15, 20. Okay, and now we've got it in that order. So I've just worked on 2 to 5, BC, 3 to 4, and then put them together by making B the same in both by scaling them up. So I times that one by 3, times that one by 5. Okay, and the last, it's got to be the last question, absolutely, right. Make Q the subject of the formula. Right, so we need to get rid of the plus 7 to start with, or we need to put the plus 7 on the other side. And then because it's 6Q, we need to divide by 6. So Q is P minus 7 over 6. Right, okay, now the last one, simplify. We need to multiply these powers. It's a power of a power. So basically we need to do minus 2 times minus 3. Got the double negative, so we end up with a positive, and it's a 6. So it's m to the power of 6. And that is the end of the Foundation Paper 1 from 2020.